Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another MLittleProgramming tutorial. In today's video, we're going to look at the map function in Python. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this type of content. Let's jump straight into it. The map function applies the same function to each element of a sequence. After that, the map function returns a modified sequence to us. So what's the syntax? The map function takes two parameters, a function, the one we're going to apply to each item in our sequence, and the second parameter is that sequence. So, an example of where we could use the map function is if we wanted to double every item in a list. If we were not using the map function, we would have to define a function like so. The function would need to take a list as a parameter. Inside the function, we'd set up an empty list, list2. Below that, we'd need to define a for loop to times each number in the list we'd passed in by 2. And then finally, we'd return the list 2. As you can see, this is a function that is a few lines long and contains a loop that will cost processing time. Of course, this functionality could be coded easier using a map function. To do this with a map function, we could still set up a def function. The def function would have a single parameter, the single item in the sequence that we will double. From this function, we are just going to return the number that is passed in, multiplied by 2. We are then going to set up our map function. So, as we mentioned earlier, the map function has two parameters. The first one is our function. We just pass in the function itself and do not call the function here. That means that we don't need to define the argument we are going to pass into the function. The map function will take care of this for us. The second argument is a sequence that we want to apply the function to each element. So, for this example, we can just define a sequence here of the numbers 1 to 5. We can assign the result of this map function to a variable, which we'll call numbers. Now, we'll try and print the result of our map function by passing this variable into a print statement and then running the program. This is a map object. To create a list, we actually need to pass this map object into a list function. So now if we pass our map function into the list function and run the program, what we see is that our new sequence that was produced has each item that was in our initial list doubled. However, it is possible to have the same functionality without defining a def function. To do this, we will use a lambda function. A lambda function is a function that doesn't need a name. We covered lambda functions in detail in a previous video in this Python for Beginners series. I'll put a link to that video in the top right now, and I'll put a link down in the description. So, now that we are going to use lambda functions, we no longer need this def function, so we can delete it. The lambda function will replace the first parameter of our map function, as we are no longer passing in the def function that we just deleted. Our lambda function will still have one argument, like our def function. The expression of our lambda function will be our argument multiplied by 2. This code now has the same functionality as before, and so when we run this, we get the same output as before. I'll put a link to the code you've seen in this video in the description down below. Thank you for watching the video this far. I hope you got a lot of value from it. If you'd like to see more Python programming tutorials, there will be a link in the description down below to a playlist of Python programming tutorials. With that said, if you liked the video, if you could drop a like on the video, it would be much appreciated, as it really helps the channel, and subscribe to see new Python programming tutorials every week. Also, if you've got any questions about the video, drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Have a great day.